When Katrina Browne discovered she was a direct descendant of the largest slave-trading dynasty in the United States, she decided to retrace her ancestors' footsteps. The journey became the documentary Traces of the Trade, a story from the deep north.
No one in my family realized was that the DeWolfs were the largest slave-trading family in U.S. history. They brought over 10,000 Africans to the Americas in chains.
They had not realized that 3 generations of the family were involved in it, so it went on for a long time, which is embarrassing. You would have thought they would have gotten it, that this really isn't something that this should have been done.
Many Rhode Island ships came to Havana. I never knew that Havana was one of the largest slave markets in the world.
I'm real interested in Ghana and I'm real interested in Cuba. But here's a group of 10 people who seem to be together, ready to talk about race in the United States. And we're not talking about it. And I want to talk about, what do we do when we go home? What do we do when this is over?
Katrina joins us along with the documentary's co-producer Juanita Brown. Also with us is her cousin Tom DeWolf, author of Inheriting the Trade. The film debuted, at least for a nationwide television audience, on POV, and we want to say very, very quickly it comes out on...
Comes out on DVD today through our website.
Was it grandmother?
My grandmother. Who
wrote in a sort of a note about her life. She understood she was a descendant of these slave traders, the DeWolfs.
Yeah. And it was, she sent this booklet to us, and when I read it, I was just totally shocked and upset, and it sent me on this journey of discovery. I thought since they were from Rhode Island, they must have been the only northern slave traders. Come to find out, all of the North was complicit in slavery, the slave trade, having slaves, etc. So we've had this amnesia.
Right, and there was this triangulation. Right, tell how that worked from between Ghana and Havana.
They brought rum to the west coast of Africa to trade for Africans. The family actually owned plantations in Cuba, and then brought the sugar back to the north to make the rum. But it really, the whole northern economy was tied up in this.
Exactly right. So they may not have been directly responsible for bringing slaves to the United States, but they were so tied up.
The Northerners were responsible. It was northern ships that were going.
So you sent out a letter to all these DeWolf cousins, spread all over the country, more than 100 letters. Let's go on this journey. Let's retrace these steps and see who we are as a result of our family's past. And how many people write back?
I think maybe 40 out of 200 wrote back.
And how many showed up to go on the trip?
9 of us went with Katrina.
Okay. You go on this trip. What was your expectation of what this was going to be like?
I wasn't sure what to expect, but I knew it was going to be profoundly impacting, that what we were going on was something that mattered, dealing with issues of race, that big elephant in the living room that we've been trying to avoid in this country for so long, and getting to this place of recognition of what that means for us today in this country, how that impacts me as a white guy living in these states. Which was really the revelation of this film, is this family sort of unmasking the emotions of itself to say, oh my God, we have a legacy that we're responsible for. As a person of color who is on this trip, you end up being turned to saying, who are we? What are we about? How foolish or how ridiculous are we? What was this like for you?
It was a powerful yet difficult trip for me. And what I found most just astounding was that these were people who were brave enough to talk about issues that in this country we don't talk about. And so for me, it was the authentic acknowledgement, and what we found when we screened this, a lot of other African Americans, the authentic acknowledgement that something happened long ago and that there might be vestiges of that today.
And we all want to distance ourselves as white people. We have every excuse in the world. Even I can say I didn't do it, right? But, and we mostly identify as not racist. Most white people say, I'm good, I'm well-intentioned, I'm not racist. But when you look at what the benefits are that have come, because it built the economy of the country, including for immigrants who come after, it was the land of opportunity because it was built on this.
It's a great scene in the film where, how could we have possibly benefited in this room full of Ivy League graduates?
Almost
except for
all
one,
Ivy League. Some of us are a little different here.
There you go. There you go. I cannot recommend it highly enough. The book is terrific. The film now available on DVD. Go to
tracesofthetrade.org.
There you go. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us this morning.
you.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Katrina Browne, Juanita Brown, and Tom DeWolf. To read an excerpt from Inheriting the Trade and learn more about the book and the story, go to our website, earlyshow.cbsnews.com. We'll be right back. You're watching The Early Show on CBS.